hearing warnings about attacks coming to U.S. soil. Major threats, security threats against the United States. Take a look at the latest headlines with me, though. The FBI and the DHS leaders, they refused to testify publicly about national security threats before the Senate. Outrage coming out over this as we are hearing major warnings that are coming out, and we are hearing the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security saying they are refusing at this time to testify. Now, take a look at this. This comes as World War III has begun. I shared this with you as soon as it came out yesterday. Ukraine's ex-military commander amid Russian conflict is saying World War III is here. In addition to that, we also heard Putin come out and say the war in Ukraine is going global. This is now a global world conflict that is erupting, and we are seeing nations, Germany, Poland, Switzerland, preparing for World War III. 800,000 troops deployed. I shared this with you yesterday, and we're also hearing warnings about attacks coming during the holiday times and potentially against the United States. And take a look at this as well. Speaking of national security, migrant caravan leads to increased activity at the southern border. We're hearing there is a caravan of over 1,500 migrants coming towards our southern border. Another mass entry at the United States southern border at this time. And we're hearing escalated threats and potential attacks could be coming here. Warnings coming out from the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, but now they are refusing to testify. Wow. So there is a lot going on. I'm going to be sharing with you guys the latest, and this comes after we saw that intermediate ballistic missile hit in Ukraine from Russia, not in ICBM, but it's minute details. Still massive capabilities. The payloads are not as big as an ICBM, but still nuclear capabilities and messaging and warning to the world, and Russia coming out with direct warnings to the United States yesterday as well of potential attacks that could be coming. So I'm going to get you guys caught up in the latest. I'm going to be referencing a lot of video footage. So you're only going to see the one article link down below, but the rest is going to be video footage that has all come out today, November the 22nd, 2024. So that way you can see it for yourself. And again, if you guys appreciate the updates, keeping you up to speed on everything, don't forget, take a quick second, hit the like button. I see we've got 1,337 people with me live, 200 likes. If I could get half of the room to hit the like button, help spread this out further, would appreciate it a ton. Just takes a second. Subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? I'll keep you up to speed on everything, and also additional resources linked down below in the description. I've got an assortment of different Amazon links. You can click on them. Go check out items to stock up on, as we're seeing them doing this in Germany, Finland, Sweden, Norway. They are telling their people to stock up supply. In Russia, they are putting out those shelters, nuclear fallout shelters, mobile locations for people to go. 54 people can go and hide in case there are nuclear weapons that are dropped on Russia. We're not seeing any of that here in the United States. So as I say here on the channel, don't be scared, though. Be prepared. But it doesn't look like there are any defensive preparations at this time in the United States. So they're saying to stock up in food and water at least 1 week. I say at least 3 months if you can. Man of Steel, thank you for the $2 super chat. This ain't no joke. Trump can't stop this. Prepare. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of people saying that right now. Trump is saying he's going to de-escalate things. However, people are saying right now Joe Biden is escalating things significantly. I think it was 2 days ago after his announcement, we saw headlines around the world saying Joe Biden has now started World War III. And now yesterday I shared with you Ukraine, Russia, these various things. Germany is saying they are preparing for World War III. They're saying it's actually officially started now. The United States, just to clarify, has not said this. They have not said anything about World War III or global war is official, but this is being vocalized around the world right now.
Cars surrounding a flatbed truck that's got something undercover in its back. Any idea what that was?
Yes, that is the Capitol Christmas tree. It is an 80-foot tall Sitka spruce from the Tongass National Forest in Alaska. It's only the second time the Capitol Christmas tree has been from Alaska, and they brought it here all the way. They drove it all the way from a remote island, John.
Well, I thought they had a load of gold on the back of that truck, judging by the number of police cars that were surrounding it. But I guess they were giving it a nice big welcome into the city at 5:30 in the morning. Chad, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Julian.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian.
Fox News lawyer, now the former commander-in-chief of the Ukrainian army, making the grim declaration World War III has officially begun as the country faces pressure from North Korea and Iran. Now Russia retaliating with new ballistic missiles after Biden gave Ukraine the green light to fire long-range attack missiles into Russia, and the UK gave their drones. It is obvious that Ukraine already has too many enemies. Went on to say this is a world war. You feel like this is a world war beginning?
Well, I have some empathy for Saluzny, by the way, and for our audience. You know, he used to be the chief of staff of all the forces in Ukraine. He's highly respected. But, you know, you're sitting where he is, you can understand his feelings about this. I mean, he's fighting Russia and now another name, but I have no knowledge of that. The reality is they said that Russia fully intends, after the Ukraine is finished with, to expand into Europe. And all the European nations know that, and certainly I think our country knows that. I know that as well. So yes, we're in a pre-war era. There's already.
Thanks so much, General.
So there you have it, you guys. So we have heard that the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, they were supposed to testify regarding all of the potential threats that are posed to us at this time, and they've refused, saying that they will not be testifying right now. In addition to that, you just saw the video footage where we're hearing warnings of World War III. Putin said this is a global war. Ukrainian ex-commander-chief saying that World War III has already started. If you agree with him, let me know your thoughts. Drop a 3 in the comments for World War III. If you think no, there is no World War III right now and we're going to be able to avoid it, go ahead and drop a 4. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, they are discussing the potential for attacks, threats against the United States on our own soil, attacks to the United States over the holidays. And they said that they are not going to be sharing in the hearing any testimony regarding what could be unfolding. Now, this comes as in addition to that, we are also hearing that there is a new massive caravan that is making its way through Mexico to the United States as well. And this is a concern, as we mentioned, for U.S. Homeland Security, for our own nation here. More threats of people pouring in and into our border that could be wanting to do us harm.
Their press operation. Hey, Griff, why do you think this caravan, what could you tell us? How intact do you think it's going to be, being that you are in contact with the leader, by the time it gets here?
Well, we'll see what happens, Brian. And, you know, they're in Huitzla. That's where they are in Mexico. It's the northern city in the Chiapas southern state down there. And the migrants often break apart once they get out of that Chiapas state, after they leave Huitzla. And part of the reason why they do that, Brian, is because the smugglers pick them up there and try and offer them ways to pay to move quickly to our southern border. And I will be willing to bet, although I'm not there, so I don't know for sure, but I'm willing to bet that the smugglers are offering premiums for top dollar to hurry up and get there, because of the concern that under the Trump administration, they're not going to have the success they've had over the past 4 years.
They know the routes, and we're giving him because they didn't like the food that was given to them and they were throwing it out. So we decided to give them debit cards so they can have.
Has Alvin Bragg said anything about this?
Yeah, but by the way, that's probably why he's in jail, because he hit somebody in his office.
In his office.
But it was okay to hit.
But it's happening to average day New Yorkers every day.
Right. And by the way, the GOP standing up, speaking out in Massachusetts about the governor making those ignorant remarks about illegal immigrants. We're going to protect them. We're not going to cooperate with ICE. The Republicans are beginning to, even though they're not a lot of them, they're beginning to speak out and talk about the embarrassment of their mayor and governor when it comes to illegal immigrants.
And when they're arrested, they're laughing, they're smirking. Yeah. Remember the guy in Midtown?
He flicked off the camera.
Exactly.
They were smirked and laughed there as well. And these are guys that shot at cops, right? And they're laughing about it. We let them out too, by the way.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the
there
Fox News.
There you guys have it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. We are hearing these warnings, and these are coming as the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security were supposed to testify about potential attacks coming to the United States over the holidays, the threats, World War III, this massive caravan that's coming over that could be posing major security issues. And with all of that going on, we are hearing that now the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI, they are a no-show. Let me go ahead and share with you this article so that way you can see what is coming out on this. Now, this article coming out in the last 24 hours from the Associated Press, FBI and Department of Homeland Security, the leaders, they won't testify publicly about national security threats before that he has held his job. So, yes, it was the Department of Homeland Security. They're saying testifying 30 times. But now that they are on their way out, they're saying no. We've got nothing else to share with you in a public setting. If you'd like to get some classified information, we can provide that for you. But at this time, they're saying no, there's nothing else to share other than there are major severe threats to the United States, to the homeland. There are potential attacks coming. There's warnings of cyber threats, physical threats, and all of these things taking place. Individuals pouring into our southern border. and they skipped out on the hearings yesterday, refusing to testify. Know your thoughts in the comments. Why would they refuse this? Why are they deciding not to move forward? Now, we had heard them say that one individual said it's probably because they're on their way out the door and they're like, well, we don't want to be harassed anymore. We've given, I think they said the DHS has done 30 testimonies, if I remember correctly from the video, and they're saying we're done. Like, we don't have anything else to say. There's major threats at this time, and that's it. A separate hearing scheduled for Wednesday before the House Homeland Security Committee also was postponed. The hearings were to have taken place at the time of significant political transitions, as Trump is interviewing candidates to replace FBI Director Christopher Wray and has named South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem to succeed Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. Now, the threats hearings are an opportunity for members of Congress to hear from these agencies about what they see as key threats facing the nation, ranging from weapons of mass destruction to natural disasters. And as I mentioned, we had heard the warnings of attacks on U.S. soil coming from foreign nations in the form of sleeper cells, cyber threats coming from other nations. You heard them mention China, Iran, North Korea, Russia, all of these on the FBI's watch list. And we're also seeing the southern border individuals pouring into what they are saying are tons of sleeper cells here in the United States, planning coordinated attacks. Now, it's usually the head of the agency that appears, although not always. During the first Trump administration, when there was frequent turnover at the Department of Homeland Security, the DHS under Secretary David Glaw appeared back in 2019. Acting Deputy Secretary Kenneth Cuccinelli appeared in 2020 during the pandemic, when some members of the panel appeared virtually. Now, the Senate committee usually starts scheduling its annual hearings months in advance, and previous hearings have always included a public component. The committee was informed Monday that Mayorkas and Wray would not be appearing. Now, in a statement yesterday, the FBI had said that it had repeatedly demonstrated our commitment to responding to congressional oversight and being transparent with the American people, and remained committed to sharing information about the continuously evolving threat environment facing our nation. FBI leaders, they have testified extensively in public settings about the current threat environment and believe that the committee would benefit most from further substantive discussions and additional information that can only be provided in a classified setting, the statement said. Wow, so they're saying no need to give information publicly. There needs to be a classified meeting where we can discuss the threats that are currently being posed to the United States. And again, we had actually heard that this could be around the holiday season. What could be coming? The Department of Homeland Security said in a statement that they and the FBI offered to speak to the committee in a classified setting and emphasize the amount of unclassified information they've already shared publicly. Department of Homeland Security and the FBI already have shared with the committee and other committees and with the American public extensive unclassified information about the current threat environment, including the recent published Homeland Threat Assessment. Department of Homeland Security takes seriously its obligations to respond to congressional requests for testimonies, the department said. The agency also noted that Mayorkas has testified in Congress 30 times during the nearly 4 years that he has held his job. So, yes, it was the Department of Homeland Security. They're saying testifying 30 times. But now that they are on their way out, they're saying no, we've got nothing else to share with you in a public setting. If you have quotations, agreed. Thank you for the $10 super chat and sharing that, Jay Cruz. Appreciate that a ton. So yeah, as more information comes out, though, I'll be sure to share here on the channel, keep you guys up to speed on everything. And again, if you appreciate that, do me a favor, take a second, hit the like button, help spread this out further. This article that I just had up from the Associated Press, linked in the description below. The vast majority of the updates today came through video footage, so I wanted to share those with you. Those are not linked in the description, but they came out today, and I'll keep you up to speed. And if you want to stay up to date and you haven't done so yet, take a second, hit that subscribe button. It's totally free. Why not? Keep you